We spoke to Cody Rhodes, Randy, after WrestleMania, the night after, and he was giving us a Randy Orton story about pulling your idols out of walls and stuff.
Right.
I wonder if you would like to have your own Cody Rhodes story to harmonize us from the years.
Oh boy. So like I got one, but I don't think I want to tell it because then he'll hear that I told it, and then he'll have more stories. So then we'll just keep one-upping each other, and the next thing you know, we'll both be fired. Or in jail somewhere. No, Cody, so like he was young, you know, but I was still young when he came up, and I was still kind of in a period of time where I needed a babysitter. So as much as he puts me over for taking him under my wing when he was brand new, like he drove me around town to town. Like he was a good, you know, like Cody probably is responsible for getting me town to town safely for a good 3 years of my career. Like where if it wasn't for him, I might not be here right now. Like he was my babysitter after the show. As far as stories, man, we had a lot of wild, fun nights going out with the boys and shit, but that was like a lifetime ago. You know, we're both married now with kids, and you know, there's no reason to bring up all those old memories, but maybe when my kids are grown, his kids are grown, you know, a book's in order, and there could be a chapter on all the funny shit Cody did, for sure.
Randy, you've been very honest about how much you matured over the last 2 decades. So I was wondering, how has your relationship with Vince kind of mirrored that as you've grown in WWE?
Yeah, it's totally changed over the years where, like, we had a not weird, but different kind of relationship, because early on, I was getting in trouble a lot, and there was a lot of times I had to go to the principal's office, and I used to dread it, but for some reason, I'd always leave that office and go back to the locker room, and I'd be on the show that night. Like there was, like he had no reason to keep me around with some of the shit that I was pulling, and some of it just dumb, immature kid shit, you know. And now that, you know, 20 years has gone by and I've slowly got to know him, like I think there's more of a like man-to-man respect there. I'm a husband and a father, and he sees that I've matured as well. But he's seen me like in dark periods where like I've had like meltdowns, breakdowns in front of him, you know, where I've like beat my head against the wall in front of him, like his 25-year-old man, like just emotional fucking, you know, trying to just not knowing how to express myself, and he's witnessed that in close quarters, like, and I think he sees a little bit of my crazy in him, like, you know, even if it's just a little bit. So I from an early age when I was fucking up like that, I think it almost made him like want to like nurture that part of me, you know. So and we've grown together in that regard. So like now our conversations are a lot different. And if I knock on his door, peek my head in, you know, 9 out of 10 times, no matter who's in there, he'll tell them to fuck off so that I can come in and talk to him, which is pretty cool.
What do you make of the prospect of Tyson Fury potentially returning to the WWE? I know Drew McIntyre has called him out, and he told us that he wants to potentially make it to SummerSlam later this year.
Yeah, as soon as that fight was over and he was doing the press conference and, you know, he couldn't wait to say Drew McIntyre's name, I got on the phone right away to Drew, and I was like, Drew. And he had already tweeted it and was pushing it and replying and getting it out there, you know. Drew's great. Like, he's a smart guy, too, and he sees that opportunity and knows that would be huge for not only himself, but the WWE. So it's like, what do I think? I've met Tyson. He was great. He's a fan. So when these guys that are out of our industry come over and they're fans and there's that like respect or mutual respect, like really you can go no wrong. Like look at Logan Paul. Look at Bad Bunny. Like who would have thought, right? But that dude is the most humble dude. What's he worth? $1 billion? Like that dude don't need to spend his time for 3 months putting a match together and risking his neck, you know? I'm sure his management team is like, what are you doing? You know, and he's wanting to jump off the ropes. And like, there's nothing better than an outsider coming in and having a little heart. Tyson's just like that. So I would assume that's going to go forward, and that'll be probably something pretty big. And shit, I'm thinking about it. September, Cardiff, kind of lines up.
He even mentioned he wouldn't mind being part of that show.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't even know that. I would think, I would think he'd be there.